The door opened silently, but Thorne was already looking up from the letter. Apparently, after a decade of staying alive in the darkest alleys on the bloodiest missions, a few months as a reluctant duke hadn't dulled his senses. He didn't recognize the young man who backed through the door carrying a tray, but the realization didn't alarm Thorne. No, he was too busy looking at that arse. Titsworth, the butler, had outfitted the footman in smart jackets which were cut trim, and this particular footman had all sorts of interesting things to show off. Allowing the letter to dangle from his fingers, Thorne smiled at the young man. When he looked up and met Thorne's gaze, the footman stared, obviously not expecting the Duke to be watching him. "Sorry to disturb you, sir. Mr. Titsworth sent me in here to refill your decanters." He nodded down at the bottles he balanced on the tray. Thorne's favorite whiskey. "Then by all means, have at it," Thorne murmured, amused at both the lad's flat American accent and how flustered he was. "Dinna let me stand in your way." The young man was positively adorable when he flushed like that, his skin darkening to almost the same color as his auburn curls, which he'd appeared to have attempted to pull back into a queue. Little wisps framed his face, making him appear almost pretty. As the footman bustled toward the decanter, Thorne shook himself from his rather blatant admiration and dropped his eyes to Griffin's words once more.